Hello guys, and welcome to some AOR IndyCar highlights on Project Cars. And as you can see, some standings from the previous race at Laguna Seca, round 1, so that's qualifying for you. Unfortunately, I couldn't give you the highlights for that. The quality of it wasn't very good, just generally, but this is obviously very new for me on the channel. This is actually round 3. We're doing Road America. Brands Hatch was cancelled. I couldn't race there anyway. I think there's some sort of problem with the game, but that's the results. We came 11th in Laguna Seca, and here we are in qualifying for Road America. And obviously, I'm on the pad on this game, so very very different content for you guys on the channel. I thought I'd join it. I just wanted to see what Project Cars was like in terms of league racing and stuff. I haven't really done anything on Project Cars, so here we are on our first qualifying lap of the session. We're on the set of I think it's the alternate compound or the primary. I think it's the alternate compound or the primary. I think it's the primary actually, which is the harder compound basically. And we're just doing our first sort of laps. Obviously, this is actually, I think we've already done our lap already, and it's like a first attempt at trying to go a bit more faster. And Road America is a very good, interesting track. I've big raced here before on Forza, so yeah, we're just trying to go as quick as we can, and yeah, lots of understeers you can see as we're just trying to get the lap up. But yeah, it felt really good. Setup wise, you have to really focus with the setups, I think, on this game. I mean, the setups generally do make you faster. I don't know much about Project Cars. I'm a little bit new to all this world, I suppose, in that sense. But at this time of recording, I've done plenty of races of this season so far. So I'm currently in a sort of a gap point of the season. So there's a lot more highs to come. But yeah, these highs have been a bit delayed because of the F1 stuff, and I just haven't bring it out really and haven't had time to edit. So yeah, now we're here, lots of understeer there, just trying to turn the car in. Yeah, and the setup was decent, but yeah, I was really struggling on the pad. I mean, it isn't a pad game, it's a wheel game in the end of the day, but I was trying my best with the pad, and so far so good. It's been a decent lap so far, and then going to the last corner, which actually is one of my favourite corners on the track so far, or just first corner on the track, actually, not so far, one of that. And of course, the line we come to 1:25, so that's a good start. We've improved, and now we're coming out for later on in the session, our fastest lap of the session on the softer compound tyre, and losing the rear end there in the last corner, but here we go for the lap, and here we go, and heading down to turn 1. Quite difficult to get the braking zone right for this, but we're down to 3rd gear, I think, tucking it in, they're hitting the apex nicely, not extending, keeping it in the limits. It's a good first corner, and then the right and the left, very tricky to get the right line, otherwise you're going to be unsteering off in the second part, but we keep the line well, and we're in 6th gear, and maxing it out pretty much here, 170 miles per hour, nearly hitting 180, and now into the right left, very fun complex. You got to really risk it. I was just braking during practice, but here you just lift off and you go through there. Fun set of corners, those double chicane, that's awesome. And then the slower part here, a little bit of understeer, but we get there okay, isn't too bad otherwise. And now into the tight right hander. You need to be careful down the 2nd gear, and you want to shift up to 3rd. It worked for me, and we've got a good run through there, and we are up on our time so far, so really good lap so far. And now into the slower part, really tricky down the 2nd gear, and understeering a little bit. We're okay though, and we're keeping it in the limits. And now this corner is the most difficult corner on the track. It's the 2nd gear, let it roll, understeering a little bit, but we're keeping it in there. And now this pit is normally flat out, but I had to make a small little lift here, and luckily we're okay. But yeah, didn't get the line I wanted. Now last corner, 4th gear, keeping the speed. Could use a bit more of the track, but coming to the line, it's going to be a 1:24.1, which I believe was our fastest lap of the session, which is actually our first lap of the session, but our fastest lap we did actually even including practice, so that was really good, and we qualify in 6th place, so very good qualifying from us. Yeah, for our second race in the IndyCars, that is a very good job. But obviously, this is round 3, as I said earlier, after Brands got cancelled, and Laguna Seca was our first race, but the recording really wasn't that good, so I didn't want to bring it out and give you bad content. But here we go for the race. We're on the formation lap. Basically, we have rolling starts in IndyCars, not like the standing start. So it's a rolling start, which does hurt the tyres. And it says green it says the tyres are green at the temperature, but they really aren't. And this is something that I had to really get used to, is the start procedures, and particularly the first laps, because the tyres are colder. And this, you'll see, caught me about the surprise. So we're trying to get into a decent amount of space, and Lucky Dog's on our left-hand side. a good mate of mine, and the start is going now, and I got caught out there because I think, actually no, it's not going now, it's going, yeah, now. So I got caught, the start I got was really bad in third gear as well. Doesn't really give you the best traction, so I should be running in second gear. Down the turn one, trying to go aggressive here, and I look okay, but now I oversteer and someone hits me from behind, and I've hit the wall and I get hit again, and absolute carnage. And I caused absolute carnage on the first lap, so not great for me. It just, again, just start. I find that the safety car, the car that we run, the guy that leads the cars away in the formation lap, I just fail. It's just too slow, and it just hurts tyres. And now I've got damage. And this first lap of the race has been absolutely horrendous. And we're down to 9th place. And from here, the race is just It's just basically just the way it is. It's basically the race over pretty much. So I continued on this race, pitting in now. Carl is losing the car as well. I think I got even more damage actually on this lap. So running full fuel, just going with the hard compound. Normal strategies we normally do for the actual race itself, but we'll have to pit again later on in the race. So race is pretty much gone now, and that's it. You know, for me, I thought the formation car that was running the formation, it's just far too slow. That's the yellow car there. That's actually what we ran. It's just far too slow because the tyres, on a pad specifically, not on the wheel, because on the wheel you can generate the heat quite quickly. But on the formation, we can't get any heat on the tyres. It's not fast enough, and on the first lap, it's just complete carnage. So I've learned after this race that I take it so easy in lap 1. There's no point in me risking it. And that's the way it is. So this pit stop's going to be quite a long one, changing the tyres of course and going on our way once again for the rest of the race, and we've already been lapped, so that's just, yeah, as I said, the race is over at this point. So we're just trying to push on as hard as we can, and the main thing is I don't quit in this early part of the season. There's no point in quitting at this point. You may just continue on, find your rhythm, find the speed, because the more laps I do in these cars, the more faster I'll get, you know, and that's the end of the day. So basically I was treating it as more of a practice session, just trying to get used to the cars more over heavy fuel. Because obviously these are all new, you know, I haven't done project cars, I haven't done IndyCar before, pretty much, obviously at this point I only done one race, so it was just me just trying to get used to it all, finding my rhythm, getting used to the handling. You know, the more laps I do, the better I'll get, and that's, for me, that's what the mindset I had in this race, and the races that go wrong, you know, I may just continue on. There's no point in me retiring, because it doesn't gain me anything. I may just gain by just trying to go fast, and here, just doing a set of laps, going faster and faster and faster, 26.2 that lap. And we continue on. It's generally just getting more faster and more faster. And I think this hard tyre was actually generally a pretty decent tyre, as it just kept improving. But lap 6 now, burnt up behind us as well. He's actually had a bad start. I think he got caught up in that first lap collision. Again, another improvement of 26.1. So definitely improving as we go on. But yeah, I mean, as I said, you know, there's no point in me retiring. You know, points on here in the end of the day, and you may get the points when you have them, and if I can just get used to the car as well along with it, that's the main thing. That's my objective. I don't really want to get hurt. But yeah, this was a good experience for me. And next lap, we go for another fast lap here. It's going to be a 25.9 actually, that lap. So another improvement. So again, it's so good when you're just going faster and faster and faster. Every lap you're going faster. It's such a good feeling, knowing that you're driving very good. And I was driving very well. Now in 8th place, someone's retired or left the session. So we're now into 8th place, so good points on offer here. And yeah, even though I'm a lap down, you know, I may just collect the points while I have them. And there's no point in me retiring, but I was suffering from a lot from overheating. Another improvement, 25.7, and that's what I got earlier in the season, just overheating the tyres. Now I have got the grips with that. It is down to the pit strategy. My pit strategy was off, and oh god, actually, as I talk about that, I just hit the wall there, and I have got damage. So I've absolutely bottled it, and I was getting a little bit confident with the fast laps, and I've absolutely bottled it, and there's damage there, so that's really hurt, big time. And I'm going to have to pit again earlier than I wanted to, and yeah, that's just a mess. But as I was saying, the pit strategy I was running, my tyre, you can see here, my actual tyre pressures were higher than my setup. So the reason why I think I was overheating so much is that my tyre pressures were different on my actual pit strategy compared to my setup. So that's why. So now I've got to grips with that recently. I've been making sure the pit strategy, the tyre pressures are exactly the same as my actual setup, and that's generally helped that overheating problem. So those overheating problems, they do hurt you in the races. You just don't get more oversteer as you overheat. which is obviously natural. But yeah, I fixed that recently, recent races with this tuning setup. So again, it's just showing how I'm just getting used to the game, how everything works. These things, they do come in time, and generally it's just basically a working process. But I really do enjoy driving these cars. They're really grippy, got decent speed. The racing is pretty interesting. It isn't like F1, in terms of what you can and can't do. And losing the rear again, hit the wall slightly, keeping it out the barriers, and I have got damage. That slight tap on the wall is giving me even more damage. So this has been an absolute bottle of a race, really. The car was pretty much all over the place, actually, and that's because of the tyre pressures, as I said, losing the rear again. Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing, really, but, I continued on. At this point I was thinking about just quitting the race, but I didn't. I just continued on, again, just getting the mileage in. That's the main thing for me. For a pad user, I think actually it might be the only pad user in the tiers. There's 2 tiers, and I just look at that and just wrecked my car into the pits. But yeah, I think I'm like the only pad user in this league, and actually in this tier, there's tier 1, and I think even tier 2 I'm the only pad user, if counting tier 2 as well. So it's very hard for me. But yeah, generally I was having these problems because of tyre pressures. The tyre pressures were just off. They were different to my actual setup. So that's why I was running the car. The car felt different all the time. It doesn't make up for the fact that the first lap I spanned, because the tyre pressure was exactly the same on the first lap as my setup. So yeah, the first lap stuff is just cold tyres and not being able to get the heat in. And I think these cars need speed in order to have the heat going up, and for a pad user it's hard to control. When you lose it on this game, on Project Cars, when you lose the car, you're not catching it. On a wheel, yeah, you catch it, but on this game, and even on F1 2016, a wheel user can definitely catch oversteer. On this game, you have no chance. On a wheel you can, on a pad you can't. So it's very difficult for me. But we've been learning, and we've been really getting there recently, and you'll see in the next highlights coming up. But again, here, just trying to get the mileage in, and just getting used to the cars and stuff like that, and just going for a fast one here. Understeering a little bit, currently across the line here. Is this going to be an improvement? And across the line, and it is an improvement at 25.6. So we have the pace. So the pace is there. I mean, we qualified well. Our qualifying performances are very good. We're not bad at all. And again, the front left here is overheating big time. So that's down to our tyre pressures from the pit strategy. And at 23, I think we're on improvement here as well. Coming to the line is a 25.6. So again, the speed is there, and the consistency can be there. It's just, we need to make sure that the pit strategy is better, and in the races recently they have been hitting this wall slightly there, but we're okay. Coming to the line, and we do improve once again to 25.2. So later on in this race, the tyres are getting better, just generally. And actually at this point in the race, I was feeling very good. The car was feeling excellent, and obviously with the lower fuel. So I wasn't upset at all. But we weren't really racing anyone here. And they were just, again, I think the last race for us, we've been lapped like 3 times because of our instances, so it's been a bit of an embarrassing race, but you may as hold on to get the points in the end of the day. Points matter in the end of the day, and in the championship you may as get the points where you can, and even if you have bad races, the points are there for the taking. So I wasn't going to retire. I may as just at this point of the season, you may just get used to the cars, stuff like that, and that's what I was trying to do, just trying to get used to the cars more and more, and the more I drive the cars, the better I am. Actually, I think this actually is our best for race as well on the last lap, so driving really well here, and the car was behaving very well. I was really enjoying it. There is chances for the tyres to reduce the overheating on the straights, for example, as well. And we were keeping up with the leaders here as well. So the pace is there. Just we need to have the better racing. We need to have the first laps. I've learned on the first laps just not push it. I definitely on my pads. If I'm getting oversteer, it's hard to save it. So I may just let everyone go on the first laps and just do my own thing and get the tyre temperature, and then I can start attacking and closing up. So that's what I've been doing. But this stuff has actually really fueled my like and want to do Project Cars League racing entirely, even for the next game on Project Cars 2. So I've really enjoyed it. Now last corners now, finish is done, and going into the last corner, I was pushing really hard just to make sure I get this lap in, just for my own dignity. And I quickly come to the line here. It's going to be a 25.4, I think it was there on the line. And that's the race. That is it. We finished in P8. Good points. Obviously, not the race we wanted. Lots of instances and accidents, but that's the way it is. That's racing in today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more racing content on this channel. And I'll see you very soon for more IndyCar highlights and F1 highlights on the channel very soon. Thanks guys for watching, and see you in a bit. Bye boys.